Let's talk about human and animal subjects. This is in a very important area of concern and compliance in scholarly writing and publication today. So let's begin with a question, perhaps a thought process, a thought activity for us. How do different cultures view the use of human and animal research subjects? How do different cultures view it? Think about that for a minute. You may not be surprised that cultures vary widely in how they view and respond to the use of human and animal research subjects. But does that matter? Maybe not so much. I mean, yes, obviously it matters. But in the context of scholarly writing and publication, not really, because journals and sponsors kind of set a standard internationally, globally, that they expect us to follow in the science community, in academia. If we want to be published, if we want to be funded, we need to follow the guidelines. So even if our culture dictates that, an animal subject is or should be treated in this way, we need to treat it the way the sponsor dictates, under those ethical guidelines that they have and those compliance guidelines that they have. Okay? Because more and more so, journal editors and peer reviewers are paying particular attention to the research design of studies that involve human and animal subjects. They're looking to see, are we taking care of our research subjects? Are we doing what's right? Not necessarily whether we agree with it. Hopefully you agree that we should treat both groups well, humans and animals, and the level to which we treat them. But perhaps even if you have some slight disagreement, that you're following the standard, that you're doing research with integrity. So let's look at human subjects. Human subjects include all of these groups: patients, family members, students. It could even include someone's genetic or pathology materials, discarded lab specimens, correct? It could also include personal records, their data. So we need to make sure that we're following the right processes and the right procedures to obtain permission to use these. One of the big concerns with human subjects today is the issue of privacy. We want to make sure that if someone is a research participant, that we are respecting their privacy, that we have obtained the right permissions from them to use their data, and that we've documented that permission process through informed consent. If we don't have these three things, it's probably not a good idea to try to publish it. We need all three of these. When we're talking about animal subjects, these are kind of the 6 things that come to mind that are kind of the big issues in animal research, right? We want to make sure that we're using animals only when necessary. We want to be sure that we're treating them humanely, and that we have adequate controls in place to protect them and ensure that we're only using them when necessary and that we are treating them humanely and taking care of them. We want to make all efforts to replace animals wherever we can with something else, a computer simulated model, cells, whatever it might be. We want to try to reduce the number of animals that are used. We want to do exact calculations. We want to take advantage of biostatisticians and others to ensure that we're getting the right number of animals and not one more. And then we want to refine the way that we're using animals. If we're currently using rabbits, but we could use cockroaches, it's possible. We want to try to do that. We want to refine it as much as possible to go to a lower species wherever possible. Now, this is not meant to be a compendium or a detailed training on human and animal subjects, but it is intended to give you some of the ethical considerations when doing human subjects research and animal subjects research with the intent of scholarly writing and publication. And as always, if you have comments or questions or concerns, please feel free to email me. I'd love to hear from you. And good luck with your publication.